Are you still running off of the energy from last week, and so it's just
no work just kicked my fucking ass.
Oh, that's fair. I'm in a little bit better mood tonight, so maybe I can carry it.
No, I'm gonna bring it, but like I'm trying to be low key right now.
Okay. You trying to be low key?
Yeah, I'm trying to be a scurvous dog where I'm planning to murder every single one of y'all.
What?
You don't know if that's real or not. So dream that tonight. Sleep with one eye open. I didn't say that.
Exit light. I don't know. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, friends gather around, talk about the games they've been playing and things going on in their lives. Today, I'm with me, Justin.
What is up, fam?
Wow. Okay, Ben, bring it.
Hey, come on!
Is that
from a fighting game?
This
bringing it sounds like...
This. Oh my god!
Wait,
Jesus.
what? No, I didn't hear what Ben. What'd you say?
Hey, come on! Like how Terry Bogard. That's what he said.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just try to say it like Terry Bogard in his Japanese American way of speaking.
I don't know these things.
Yeah, because you didn't play SNK. I didn't either. Who am I kidding? I'm a fucking broad.
Right.
But I know about him because I watched Maximilian do streams, and he loves.
Have you never played a King of Fighters game?
No, I played King of Fighters. This is not. I just never played it when I was young. But I played KOF 98. I played one of them for sure.
There's quite a few King of Fighters games if you didn't.
Yeah, I know I played. There's
like 15 of them. You played one of them.
Oh, it was KOF 15. I think it was KOF 13. Yeah, because it was free for PlayStation Plus. It was KOF 13. I really like that one. That was cool.
All right. So this week we're gonna start with Justin. Surprisingly.
What? Was it? I guess it was a joke.
I don't
know. Anyway, I've mostly, speaking of surprising, I've mostly just been playing ReCore.
What's wrong with
you? Which is a game that, existed at one point. It's not bad. I know that's not a glowing praise for it.
It's a video game.
It is. But for anyone that doesn't know, never, played it or just completely forgot that it existed, it's kind of like Metroid Prime mixed with Ratchet and Clank in some ways. It's not as good as either of those games, but that's kind of the basic breakdown of the gameplay, which is an interesting mix because it has kind of some of the exploration elements where it's not level to level. It's actually an interconnected map. It has that from Metroid Prime and some of the traversal mechanics. This one of your bot things is it's kind of like a spider ball, except it moves way faster, and it's actually really fun to use. And you have a double jump and a few other kind of cool Metroidvania style mechanics that you unlock over time. But then it's also a lot about getting new weapons and it's more of just a shooter game. I actually thought there was going to be a lot more puzzly kind of Metroidvania style elements to it than there are, but most of the rooms boil down to just shooting all the enemies in there and then moving on to the next room where there might be kind of a simple puzzle and then another room of shoot all the enemies. It gets a little redundant. There's a lot of grind in there. But I don't know. There's something that keeps me coming back to it. I played it pretty much all weekend. I actually got pretty far, and I couldn't put it down. And maybe it's that kind of Destiny grind idea where it's I can just go a little bit more. I got to get my my robots up to a higher level so that I can get them. I can equip them with this new equipment that I crafted, but they can't wear yet. Or I just got to get through one more shrine because it's kind of basically the overworld is just an open world. It's actually pretty bland. But then you go into these kind of shrine areas where you get these prismatic orbs that are the currency in the game. So the more of those you get, the bigger harder shrines you can get into. and you also need them for like actual story progression. And then there's other things like health upgrades, treasure chests, that kind of stuff at each of the shrines. But those are where like kind of the puzzle meat of the game is. So like you might go into a shrine and like there's no enemies. It's just like a speed, like a race to like platforming all the way to the end. And if you like get all of the things by the end, then you unlock all of the treasures and the orbs and everything like that. But some of them are just like combat gauntlets, and the combat in that game is not very good. Like I said, it's very much just a shooting game. So, like, how Ratchet and Clank, you have like a bunch of different weapon types, and you can switch between them, and like there's cool different like goofy things that they each do, and you can mix them up for what works best for the situation. This is just different colors. So some like there's red, yellow, blue, and white that you toggle between with the directional pad. And some enemies are just those solid colors, and so you just have to switch to that to do extra damage against them, and that's it. That's the combat. Others are like purple or green, and they might switch throughout combat to like blue and red because that's what makes purple, or yellow and blue because that makes green, and like they'll swap throughout combat, so you have to keep switching back and forth your weapon color. But again, that's it. There's some enemies that'll like pick up your little partner robot and like carry them away, or they might come in and try to heal the big robots. You have to take them out before they heal so that you can keep doing damage. And like you have a charge shot. I love everything that has charge shot because it just feels like free advertisement. There's a charge shot, but like it really doesn't do that much. It's not worth charging unless they have shield, because it can take down the shield in like one blow. But it moves really slow. So usually by the time it gets to them, they've moved. Like it's just there's not much to the combat. And the enemies are super unfair in that like they're flying all over the place and your movement's kind of slow. So like I said, you can double jump and you can also do a really cool dash. But both of those are kind of slow and chunky. And like enemies can zoom all over the place. So like by the time you figure out where they are, they're crashing into you. And like the recoil takes forever. So like you can get hit by an enemy attack, recoil, and by the time you can move again, another enemy is on you. And like the one cool mechanic that in the combat is like you can get them down to a certain point and then like steal their orb out of them, which are like the kind of the colors that you use to upgrade your robots. They correspond to like power, defense, and health, I think. I don't remember. There's a lot of concepts in this game. I don't want to get into all of it. But anyway, this little mini game of like kind of pulling the soul out of these robots basically is really cool and helps mix things up because otherwise it's just continuing to shoot and shoot and shoot until they die. But like if there's any other enemies on screen, you're probably not going to be able to do it because they're going to like as soon as you try to pull the soul out of them, another enemy is going to come up and shoot you. And then there's another recoil. And you try to, activate the move again to pull it out, and you get hit again. And, like, that's how I kept dying.
It's really annoying.
Yeah, because, like, it should be a really cool thing of, like, steal it out of one and then go in to shoot the other. And then, like, it's just a really nice combo thing. But unless you get a times 10, like, attack combo, which lets you do an instant steal, and it automatically pulls it out without any kind of little, tug-of-war minigame, then you're basically just like hoping that no one attacks you while you do it. And that also heals you, like when you actually successfully do it. So it's kind of a risk reward thing of like, oh man, I gotta kill all of the enemies except one without dying. And then that one I can use to heal me. But also after combat, you start like slowly recharging your life. So you don't really need it at that point. You need it in the middle of combat, but then everything is after you. And it's just like the battlefields usually aren't big enough to juggle that many enemies in the first place, much less also juggling this mini game of pulling their souls out. Like there was one that was really making me mad because it was like it created this kind of dome, like a Stephen King's The Dome around us, and there was like 3 or 4 of these fairly large enemies. Yeah, I dropped a Stephen King's The Dome reference in the middle of this. Don't judge me. there was like 4 big enemies around, and the battlefield was literally big enough for me to stand and them to go to like shuffle around, and that was it. Like there was no dodging or anything like that, and I was trying to take all of them out without getting killed, and it's just like it was impossible. I had to basically just level up like 10 levels higher than them so I even had a chance, and then I barely got out. It was just really unfair. But that being said, like there's enough, like I really do like the platforming, like the puzzle elements of the game. There's some sections that are just super satisfying, like pairing together different robot abilities. Like one, like I said, lets you kind of spider ball along these tracks and then like flings you out. Another one like lets you glide over gaps. So like once you start combining some of that stuff, it's like you can basically kind of spider ball up the track that flings you out into space, into the middle of the air. Grab the next spider ball track. I'm calling it that because it's easier to understand. It shoots you around another, because like you're just kind of comboing that together for a while, and then it shoots you out over like a large gap where you can't do anything. So you double jump, dash across. You still need a little bit more. You finish it off with a glide, land on the platform, get the treasure. It's just a super satisfying section. And some of the like speed challenges are really cool too, where it's just like going from platform to platform. But once you get enemies into it, the game just becomes a lot less fun. So that's why I say it's kind of like Ratchet and Clank, because like there's really fun platforming stuff, whereas in Metroid, I mean, there's puzzles, but I wouldn't say that the jumping around mechanics in Metroid Prime are that good.
Fair.
Because it's first person and it just feels weird. But this is third person, so it feels more like Ratchet and Clank, but with those Metroid Prime elements, especially since it was made by a lot of the ex-Retro developers. But yeah, I don't know. I still really like the game. Like I want to play more of it, despite all of those criticisms. And it is the definitive edition on Xbox Game Pass, so it has some of the improvements that they brought into that version, like finishing the game.
The ending.
They put the rest of the game in it. So if you are going to play it, that's definitely the way to do it. But I just figured, like, Lo was talking about it recently, and so I figured, like, it's free on Game Pass. I might as well try it out. And then I went into a hole all weekend of playing it for like 8 hours straight. Because it was a good game that I could just like pause whenever my wife needed something because she's still recovering. I didn't have to be too invested in it, So it's just kind of a nice thing. But aside from that, I played a little bit more Grandia, but not too much. I still like the game. I just wasn't really feeling RPGs right now. And I also, the SNES games dropped with the Switch Online, so I was jumping into some of those. And there's a lot of stinkers in there. Like the games that I love are still really good, but like the ones that I feel like they were trying to go for some more obscure picks, so it wasn't just an SNES classic online, and they didn't need any of them. It's cool to have F-Zero in there. Like, I never really played that as a kid. It's actually pretty fun, if not a little unforgiving. But I didn't realize it was more of just like a straight-up racer. Like, there's not really the items or anything in there.
So you mean you're not a fan of Demon's Crest?
Actually, no. I was going to get to that one. I didn't know what that was, and then I jumped into it, and I'm like, this actually seems kind of familiar. Like, I feel like it's one of the, like, maybe a ROM I played as a kid, and just kind of like, did a little bit of and then got bored and moved on. But it seemed just familiar enough that I know I played it sometime. And it's actually pretty cool. It's not a perfect game, and it got to the point where like I finished the first level and like it was actually really fun. I like the way he plays, like with kind of the clinging onto walls and like wall jumping up, and then like the fire attack and some of that stuff. But then after that first level, it like goes to like an overworld, like RPG world map.
Yeah.
Which was really weird.
Gives you that
and I didn't know where to go next.
Yes, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's like it's basically a level select screen where you just kind of fly around and then you find somewhere that you can land and you land there and do the level. But it definitely feels like there's an order you're supposed to do the levels in, because like I went into 3 different ones, I think. And each one, like, there was nothing I could do. Either there was
I
like
think-
an immediate barrier
Yeah.
where I didn't have like the power set needed to get through it, or I would go so far into it, but like I couldn't actually hurt any of the enemies. So like I would just try to, fly past them all and like dodge everything, but I'm like, there's no way I can beat this level. Like I know there's gonna be a boss at the end. If I can't hurt the enemies, I'm not gonna be able to hurt the boss.
I bet it's one of those games where like you could just go to the last boss and try and kill it.
Probably. But there are some really cool, like at the end of the first level you get like a new power set or whatever, and like it transforms your demon. Like it actually changes your entire move set. It's not just like, one new skill or whatever. And that was really cool. I was like, oh, I want to see what I can do with this. And then none of the levels let me use it. So I had no idea what I was actually supposed to do next. And so it's like it feels a little bit weirdly at odds with itself. And I'm sure like fans of it are, super happy, but it's very obtuse to a new player.
It's definitely a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah. That's kind of true. Because I'm really enjoying jumping back into the Super Nintendo games that I loved. But I'm sure they're still obtuse to new players.
Right.
Like today I've been starting over in Link to the Past because I said on Twitter, but that's one of the Zelda games I just never really got that into. Like I loved it as a kid because it was the most recent one, but as soon as any other game came out, that was the one I would always default back to, like Link's Awakening, even Ocarina of Time. Like I still like that more than Link to the Past. But I played a lot of Link's Awakening as a kid, and Link to the Past I beat once on SNES. Once on Game Boy Advance, and that's it. I've played through it quite a few times, like maybe halfway through the Dark World, but I would always fall off somewhere around the Skull dungeon because that dungeon never made.
Yeah, I usually just get the 3 things and then that's it.
Yeah, same. Once you get to Dark World, it's kind of like, eh.
It's like, I don't want to do this.
I don't really like this game anymore. But I'm going to try to actually beat it again, because I want to see if it holds up any better now than it did as a kid. But the point is, that game is still pretty obtuse. Like, some of those dungeon designs are not very well laid out in a way that, like, you can go... And I know I'm just complaining about, like, oh, well, you just don't know the game well enough. Like, you don't want to have to explore just because it's not linear. Like, but there's...
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a logicality to the way that they should be laid out that makes you want to go the right way first. And with this, it's like the first dungeon, for example. I went all the way through it thinking I knew the right way, and I couldn't find the big key. So I went to like every single room, couldn't find it, whatever. I went back into a single room that there was an enemy I couldn't beat in it because I thought I needed the bow to kill it. And it turns out you can't kill it with your sword or anything. You have to just throw a pot at it in the eye, and it dies. And then that opened up the big key, and I could move on. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just had to clear all the enemies out of this room. That's the only thing that was holding me up. And to me, like, when you go into a dungeon, it should be like, okay, so some things need the item to be. I get that. Some things don't. That one wasn't clear. Like, it was just trial and error to get it. And even as someone that knows the game, it still confused me. 20 years after the first time I played it. So that's what I'm talking about, where it's just like unnecessarily like obscure hints at something. Even with Super Metroid, there's some of that stuff, but I know that game so well that I couldn't even pinpoint any of it, honestly. Outside of unnecessarily having to go down to Norfair for the high jump boost just to leave again. But I don't know. I'm glad we have SNES games. I love that system. I hope we get all of the games. But we'll see. We'll see what I think of Link to the Past more next week when I've gotten further. But I'm still not sure I can beat it again. The reason I'm playing it is because I need some footage for it for a future video. And I need that from later in the game, so I figure I might as well just play through the whole thing again, rather than borrow some footage from YouTube or something. Because I want to make sure my opinion on it is still true, rather than just assuming it is and writing the script based on that. I feel like that's fair. But anyway, the last thing is me and Ben and Ben's friend Brian beat Ultimate Alliance 3.
His best friend.
Whatever. Anyway, we beat the game. It's great. Little anticlimactic ending. I'll say that. Like, I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler to say that it ends with Thanos. Like, cool. I guess I kind of wanted like one last surprise, you know, and there was, but like it wasn't anything. Like, they didn't go crazy with it, you know. They played it pretty safe with the ending, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game's still really fun, and I'm excited for the DLC because it's going to bring in more story content, so we'll get to play some more and run through those new missions. But for now, we're done with the game, and that's really exciting. But I don't really have anything new to say about it because anything now would be in-game spoilers. End of the game, not spoilers.
End game.
Ben, what have you been up to?
I beat Fire Emblem Three Houses. Yeah, I did it last night. Game of the year by a long mile. I love this game. I loved everything it did for Fire Emblem. I love the new additions, like with the battalions, the big monsters that they throw in, which add such a new tense element to the game. I love the story overall, and I love how you get. I can't wait to play through it again with the other houses. Even if it's like the same core story, just to know that it's going to be different enough because you're seeing it from either Edelgard's position or I can't remember Dimitri's position. I feel like that makes it unique enough for me to want to play again versus the times I replayed Fire Emblem Awakening. It was just so I can marry the other girls, versus that's not really the case here. So, but yeah, it's a really stellar game, and I chose Dorothea to be my wife. I like the game. What's interesting about this one is that in Awakening, because Awakening is when they started this whole waifu marrying shit, is that you could marry whenever you want. And here it literally makes you wait till the last mission. You actually go to. This is spoiler alert, I guess. I won't say who it is just because I don't want to spoil the tiger. You go to a graveyard for a very specific reason, and the game then reminds you of a thing a person said, and then it's asked you to choose who you want to marry, and whoever you achieved the high A rank with, they're all eligible. So I had to choose between all these wonderful ladies in Golden Deer, except Dorothea. She's in Black Eagles, but I recruited her because, I mean, come on, look at her. And I chose her, and it was very sweet. Like you win the battle. I thought the final battle was super cool. It's kind of like, to some people it might be like that was it, but I loved it because it's like in a swamp that's poison. And all your units are available, and like there's giant monsters in the field, and you have the bad guy leaning over you on the top of the map, and he's just standing there menacingly. It was super cool. And the music just like gets super like hype. But yeah, I picked Dorothea, and it gets like really sweet because you go to the goddess tower, and one of the things that made me like love it was that. So at the end of Fire Emblem games, it gives you a postcard of like where the character's future going. Now, if you played it on normal mode, or I guess classic mode, if a character's killed, let's say KIA, so you don't get to know them. But if you for me, I played it on casual, everybody lived, so I got to see all the little futures. And with Dorothea and you, or your significant other and you, it'll show your lives together. And for Dorothea and Byleth, basically it says that they lived happily together and that they wrote poems to each other, and those poems would then be published as a book for everybody to read. And I'm like, oh, that's super sweet. But yeah, I love it. I won't be doing another playthrough within the immediate future just because so much shit is coming out, and there's even DLC for this game too, which is even ridiculous that they even think about that. But I love this game. I had low expectations going into it because I was super trepidatious about the school, like everything, and it worked out really well. I think I like it more than Awakening, which I didn't think was possible.
Comment and a question. One, I respect your pick of Dorothea. I just looked her up. Two, question: is Petra available to woo?
She is. She's part of the Black Eagles house. But but the cool thing about it is before the moment happens, you can recruit other members, other kids from other classes. In fact, some people are doing they're just recruiting everybody, which is I don't know why you would do that, but I guess if you're doing a classic mode run and somebody dies, you need to fill that slot. Well, there you go. But so if you do say for example you pick Blue Lions, you wanted Petra, you just have to basically you could go talk to them and they'll say, well, I'm not interested right now, and they'll give you I think it's just two stats that you have to increase, and it usually doesn't take much that you can get through training or talking to specific people, and then it can well, yes, I'd love to join your class, it would be lovely. Yeah, Petra's cool. I like Petra. I had to murder her because she was part of the.
Well, then you done goofed because that would have been my pick.
Yeah, well, maybe when I do Black Eagles, I'll waifu her because I love the way she speaks. It's so great. Yeah, listen to how she speaks. It's actually pretty funny because she's from a different part of the. She's from a different country. She's adorable, but it hurt like hell when I had to kill her.
Does she have an accent?
No, it's not that she doesn't have an accent, but she her way of how she conveys dialogue is different. It's hard to explain. You have to hear it. Let's just say at a panel that the voice actors did, that popular phrase "hoes mad" is a thing now. So she kind of, I don't know the words, but basically a fan asked her to say hoes are feeling the mad, so she kind of puts those extra words in there. Yeah, and it's adorable because she's constantly trying to correct herself of oh wait, she says I have apologies, but then she goes, I must apologize, so she's just trying to speak proper when that's not how people speak. It's adorable, but I had to murder her. She was in my way. So yeah, Fire Emblem, great. I didn't want to kill her. I didn't want to kill Bernadette either, but I had to because they were in my way.
Disrespect.
Yeah. I also played Astral Chain more than I did last time, and that game is off to a great start. Platinum, it feels like a Platinum game, but the addition of making the Legion, the thing that follows you around, brings such a different element to combat of having to use it in combat and use it in movement. For instance, there's you can actually use the if you hold ZL and move the right analog stick, you can wrap it around an enemy and basically do a jump to them. You can there's a slowdown move that you can do. You can do slashes. It just feels so good to play. But one thing that I didn't really realize is before I played this last week was that there's you're cop. You are a cop, and so because you're a cop, you are doing investigations. You go out usually you get a file or a mission, and you basically go find the report of a kidnapping or whatever, and you basically talk to people. It's like LA Noire, not as there's no interrogations or anything, but you go around the crime scene. You use your iris, which is sort of your detective mode, basically from the Arkham games, to make it sort of similar. And the good thing is you don't need to have that on the entire time. Just turn it on. Okay, there's something over there, which is that's one of the main problems I have with the Batman Arkham games. Sometimes I feel like you have that thing on a little too much, and you don't get to enjoy the world. But yeah, it breaks it up into that, and also while you're doing the main mission, there's other things you can pick up on other crimes. So this is not a spoiler, but there's graffiti. You start noticing graffiti across. Obviously, that's a crime. That's vandalism. Even though some graffiti art can be really badass at points. You can start talking to people, and eventually you can find that guy who's graffitiing, and you can arrest them, and it leads to this cool chase sequence where you basically use your Legion to tie him, to basically rope him up, basically, because nobody can see your Legion but you. But yeah, but so far I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm enjoying how it feels, and how it breaks. I do love the tutorial at this because basically, there's this giant dog mascot that's like the mascot for the special units you're in. I think it's called Lappy. And like you stumble across the girl who's the actual mascot, and she like freezes and she like runs away, puts the helmet on, and basically gives you the tour of the whole like police officer building. Like, here's this. It was a cool way of doing it, but I love it so far. I really am. Platinum has another fucking hit to me, and I'm probably gonna, now that I'm done with Fire Emblem, I have more time for this. I don't really need to talk about Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Justin already talked about that. Other than that, Cyclops was the MVP. Point that out there.
No, Storm was the MVP.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. But Cyclops
was dead during the final battle.
Whatever. I took the bullet. I snapped the gauntlet. Anyways, so yeah, that was a good game. I tried more of the Dragon Quest demo, just a little bit, not too much. Man, the music's really in your fucking face. Like I don't know what it is, man, but I have not played a game where like I notice the music this much. Like I feel like I feel like what I'm gonna do when I turn it on again is I have to turn the music down a little bit because it's just like for like
the track is bombastic.
Yeah, and I think it's too bombastic. Like I don't think it's bad, but like I'm just going through a field. I don't need trumpets. Okay, calm down, guys. Like Jesus. But I still love how this game looks. I love the sort of cartoony colorfulness to it. It's very whimsical. So I look forward to playing more of this demo and eventually the full release. But not much to say about it. I just got out. I just literally left town, and like I just found out. Oh, I'm the Luminary. Oh, I'm special. Yeah, I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen. I'm gonna be a hero. Yeah. And I tried a little bit of the Daemon X Machina demo that came out as a result of the Direct. Yeah, I didn't really get far. I did the character customization, which I like it. I think it has enough features. I think some people have been critical about it. Some people have been sort of praising it. I think it's fun.
Demo?
I barely remember.
Well,
playing
I was just wondering if it's the same character customization as that.
I couldn't tell you. That was so long ago. I wish I could tell you, but I don't know. But I did create Edgelord Samus, not out of knowingly. So you have the choice between being a female and a male, and I chose female because I'm not gonna marry anybody, so let me just have tits, okay? And so all of a sudden I'm like, I like this hairstyle, and it was just the cut with the ponytail, and I was like, well, I want to have red hair, and I gave myself like a Domino-esque mask or tattoo kind of thing, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm Edgelord Samus, and
This is blonde.
I know this is Edgelord Samus.
Why are redheads edgelords?
Huh?
Why are redheads edgelords?
No, just the fact that her armor's black and she has a black thing on her face, and yeah, just that. Not just because she's a redhead, but just because there's a lot of black and she has a scar. I gave her silver lipstick because you can do that in this game. So yeah, I just call her Edgelord Samus. Although her nickname is Iggy because I figured, well, Iggy's a non-gender name, so I just went with that. Iggy can be male or female.
Yes,
so, yeah, I will probably play more of it. I'll probably be bouncing my time between this demo. I can't believe I'm playing demos both times. It's so weird to me. This Astral Chain and Dragon Quest demos. I played Smash. I played Smash. I tried out Banjo, and Banjo is super fun. His forward B, the golden feather move, that thing hits like a fucking truck. Oh my god, that thing will kill at very not that high percentage. I swear to God. He has a grab that you can throw down, and it will get you stuck in the ground like the Splatoon's roller thing. So it doesn't keep you down forever, but you will get caught in it at high percentages. His up B's pretty good. He had the little spring shoes, whatever.
I like that the pad hurts people.
It's just like Sonic not Sonic. I think Sonic's hurts too.
Pac-Man.
I don't know. The trampoline doesn't hurt. You can just use it. I don't think it hurts you.
Oh, I was thinking of the hydrant.
Yeah, the hydrant hurts. Yeah.
But that's not a recovery move, I guess.
No. But it's Sonic's spring can hurt you, I think. But he's really cool. I was expecting him to be super slow. No, Banjo's fast. For me, a character who's like a brawler, he's super quick. And when he dashes, it's the trot run where Kazooie runs. It's super cool how it transitions. But he's cool.
From the gameplay demo, he looks like he's going to be my new main.
Yeah, he's fun. I don't know about main for me, but I'll definitely pick him up more like in casual playthrough. I like playing. I think I like Hero more just because of the zaniness he brings. But Banjo's super fun, and the stage is godlike.
Yeah.
Like just there's so much little details. Like and there's one part of the stage where you can see a 1-up behind the waterfall, like just right there, and all the little details. I think it's super cool. Did this arcade mode. It was pretty cool. You basically fight tag teams of people, of partners. So it was neat. But I played on the Discord Super Smash Fighters. Everybody was playing Smash because of Banjo, and I played Banjo for like one round. Like, okay, I'm switching to Hero because I want to play Hero. And this guy, his name is Slash, not the guitarist, and he was pretty beating me. And I was like, okay, let's do the last game, whatever. I'm getting tired. And I managed to hit as Banjo was recovering onto the platform, I managed to hit a snooze, and it knocked him out. And I went, put that bear to fucking sleep, and got a heavy smash, and won me the game. It was so awesome. And then I just yelled hose mad for 10 minutes in my house and alone because I'm a sad human being. But he was good. He was a good sport about it. it was just like, and I felt bad because like, oh, I should save that replay. You can only save replays in the results screen menu. God fucking damn it, I would love to have that replay. But whatever. It's fine. That's about all I've played though.
So real quick, it was supposed to be Fire Emblem related, but hey, we're talking about fighting games. Do you know why you goofed not wooing Petra?
Why did I goof?
Because her voice actress is a former semi-professional like fighting game champion.
I mean, I knew who she was, but like she wasn't part of the house. I wanted to keep the house within relative.
You want to keep it in the family, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of
I ended up
robbed whatever her name was from that house.
Yes, but like I could have easily have chosen Hilda or Mariette, who are golden deer. So, to be fair, I'm probably gonna have an affair with all the ladies in there. So it's whatever. It's a harem anime. Okay. But yeah,
just saying, that's pretty cool. Like, she's a voice actress and fighting game champion.
No, she's great. She's great. She voices Aqua in an anime that I love. She's great at it. But like, look at Dorothea though. Like, how could I not choose her? Especially her adult version, like when she's 5 years older.
Her voice actress wasn't as cool though.
Yeah, but
she's Gwen Stacy in Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah, but Dorothea is a sultry songstress, and what more do I want?
She's yeah.
Also, Dorothea is bi. Dorothea is bi.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, so I win. I win. Anyways, enough me rambling about waifus.
All right. So I played a little bit more Control over the past week. That game, it's like flipping what I know about video games on its head, like all the navigation stuff around it anyways. I know Justin would very much not like this game, so I can't recommend it to him. But there's no like guiding path, or there's no like telling you where you need to go. You kind of just have to look around at like the signage on the walls. It's more like environmental guideposts rather than you can just click a button and go onto the map and see where you need to go. So that what that does, that encourages exploration. And so I found this side quest that I didn't need to do to progress the game, and I found my way into this section of the building that was blocked off, and it actually led to an ability that you could have just completely missed. It was a shield ability, so like you can just pull up a shield, like pull like the floor up, concrete, make it a shield. Yeah, I still need to play a lot more of that. I'm not really that far. I just got the power and the water back on. Like, I'm just about to hit the next like main story beat, so I need to see some more. But I'm really liking when I'm playing of that. It seems like the powers are overpowered, probably by design. Like just picking up stuff from your environment and hurling it at a person really. It does like 90% of their health, which is crazy. So you can just chuck it at them, finish them off with a gun. You're good. And if there's like nothing around you for you to chuck something at, she just like rips something. She just rips the concrete out of the wall and throws that at the guy, which is pretty cool. You don't ever have to worry about finding something to throw at someone. It's pretty sweet.
I watched a brief playthrough of that, and you're right. It's not something I'd be interested in.
Yeah.
But to be clear, real quick, it's not that I don't like non-linear games. Like, I think that's awesome that you can just walk off the beaten path and find something hidden. It's when you know where to go, but the objective isn't clear because it doesn't seem like anything you're doing is working. So you go somewhere else, but nowhere else has the objective because you already missed it in the room that didn't make it clear.
Yeah.
That's what bothers me.
I think it does make it clear, like at least in my opinion, because of all the signposting, and you could like read. You can actually clearly read the signs and everything in this game.
Yeah, you just have to be aware.
Yeah, you just have to be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If people can't read signs in a Walmart, I don't expect them to read signs in a video game.
Yeah.
That's good.
I remember when I was working at Wendy's 15 years ago, and it was right around the time that they were changing the signs out, like the menus, to have more pictures. And they got like all new order systems that didn't have the names of the things. It was just the picture of the item. And I was like, I can't work here anymore. Like, this is ridiculous. They just assumed the lowest caliber of person. And so they shifted everything out to pictures so that people could just look up and point at the thing they want and say, I want that. And you have to look up and see what they pointed at and then tap that picture on your... It's like the speak and spell, but for adults. People are stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's
my favorite is grunting, but it was back to ray tracing the video game.
That's all he knows about it is ray tracing, because I couldn't stop talking about it.
You also couldn't do it work, so it's not ray tracing the video game.
Exactly. I need to buy like a $1,500 video card to get that to work.
That's dumb.
But yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. So aside from Control, I've actually been playing the Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan.
You bought a physical game?
Yes.
What a weirdo. Who are you, Ben?
It was on sale, $10 off. And it's a new game.
Yeah.
So I got that just because I was talking with Jacob from Left Behind Game Club, and he says, "Oh, I just bought this game, got the sale, $10 off." And he talked about how much he likes horror games, and I was like, "Well, I wasn't really gonna get this, but since you got it, I might as well get it and check out the multiplayer because that's what interested me the most was the multiplayer, and it's pretty neat." So I'm not sure if I need to see if the story in the single player is the same as the multiplayer or not, but because of the way they say it's an anthology, kind of makes me think that there's different stories in this. And so the one that we're doing has to take place. It takes place on the water. You find this ancient World War II crashed plane, and you go down in there. You're trying to find some treasure, trying to take credit for the discovery, right? And these, I don't know what they are. They're, I think, French Polynesians, pirates that have taken us over and trying to get the treasure for themselves. And we get tossed around the storm, and now we're on this haunted pirate ship that you play at the beginning of the game, the tutorial section. And it was pretty sweet, the tutorial section. It has multiple different endings, just the tutorial alone. And the ending that we got was so you play as two army guys. You play as Joe and Charlie. I just thought that was great for army guys.
Those kind of sound like army names.
Charlie is the army lingo, and then there's G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
you call them
exactly.
Joes. Yeah, it's great. But so you're supposed to transport this ancient Chinese relic. I don't know where to, but once you get onto the ship, you're drunk, and then so they throw you in the brig, and then you wake up and everyone's dead, and you're trying to figure out what the hell happened here. And Jacob, he was playing, and he says, "Wait, did you see that?" And I was like, "What?" And he saw a little girl run by, and creepy little girl. and I couldn't see any of that crap. So it's like, I really like it when the horror games have done that. Like Dead Space 3 is pretty good with that. But I made a decision of checking out a body, and then I heard a noise, and then it gave me the opportunity to either investigate the noise or hide. And so I ran to hide, and he had a gun. Jacob had a gun, and what he saw instead of me running into a closet to hide was a little girl, like a creepy little girl, hiding in this closet. And he shot at the fucking girl. I don't know why, but he was like, I was scared. He killed me. So it's really fun. You get to play as all the different characters in the game. I don't know if you get to play as the French Polynesians. You might, because it says all playable characters, so that could be fun. But yeah, like he swaps perspectives quite a bit. There's a section where I saw an explosion up on top on the boat. I couldn't figure out what the hell it was, so he just told me what it was. And if I made a decision to immediately go up from the water instead of decompressing or whatever, I could just go up. And I think if I did that, it probably would have killed one of my characters. So you can kind of cheat the game and just like say, what's going on your end, what's going on my end. So that's fun. I'm looking forward to playing some more of that. It's pretty good. Some of the faces like look a little uncanny valley. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's a little creepy. Like it's not right, but it's also right. It's really the lighting that I think makes it better. Like when there's better lighting, they look good, and when there's not good lighting, then it's really weird, uncanny valley shit. So aside from that, you know, more Destiny. Just raid. I did 3 raids in one day. Pretty sweet. Gonna do more of that. I should be doing a show just on Destiny stuff, so there won't be any Destiny on this show unless Justin wants to talk about it. But I couldn't do it this week because time. There was a lot of stuff going on this week for me. Went to a dentist, checked my teeth out, got cavities. Need to fill them in next week. Going to get a car tomorrow probably. So fun stuff. So yeah, let's head on into the news. First news piece: Dave Batista joins Gears 5 as Drax.
The animal, Batista.
Okay, not literally as Drax, but yes, the animal Dave
As
Batista
himself.
as himself. In the Gears 5 multiplayer. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I guess
Is it
wanting to play Marcus Phoenix in a Gears movie. So he's like, hey, this is the first step to being in the movie now.
He's really going hard on that movie.
Is it wrong that I contemplated going out to GameStop, buying a used Xbox One and signing up for Game Pass just to play as Batista in a Gears of War game?
You can play with us?
True.
If your computer
True.
can run it.
Well, as I said, to go buy an Xbox One. I wouldn't try. My computer would melt trying to play Gears 5. Are you kidding me?
It does seem very pretty. I'm not sure my computer's going to be able to run it all the way. Because like it actually runs Gears 4 like ultra, like full quality, no problem. But I think Gears 5 is a little heavier.
Yeah, I need to play that. I'll probably install it this weekend. Actually, I already have it installed on my Xbox. I need to see if my head has it installed so we can play.
Yeah, we can do sometime this weekend probably. You know, when you're not buying your car.
I don't know how long it's going to take. It's my first car. I hear
Yeah.
it can take either minutes or the entire day.
Mine was like an afternoon.
Yeah, that's what I
But
heard.
it was at a dealership. They tried to, you know, keep adding all this stuff on. And
Yeah, that's what I'm going. So speaking of multiplayer, Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer is now confirmed to be in development. CD Projekt Red has confirmed that Cyberpunk 2077 will get a multiplayer mode sometime post-launch, putting to bed years of reports that it's been in research and development. Cyberpunk 2077 will launch April with single-player campaign only. The studio announced Twitter that a multiplayer mode will be added. Until now, the only thing that we said about multi was that it was in R&D, getting closer and closer. Yeah, single-player, blah 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 blah. That's pretty much the announcement.
I like that they're adding it later though. Because so many games now, like people don't play the single player mode because they're just like, oh man, I gotta get multiplayer with my friends. And then by the time like they're burnt out of the multiplayer and want to jump into the story, another game's come out and they moved on.
Yeah.
So like I think like for Call of Duty, for example,
Yeah.
I think like some of those games actually have pretty good stories, right?
Yep. Yep.
But like only 10% of the player base plays them.
Yeah.
And I think that could be a benefit by like either putting out a version that's cheaper and like single player only for the people that only care about the story, and then you could like buy the multiplayer expansion, or maybe having the multiplayer be separate and like it comes out later, so people can like practice in the single player and then jump into multiplayer when it when it launches. I think that thing should be done. That kind of thing should be done more often. Because I like to play through and like learn things and then play it with other people, but by that time everyone's too good, so I get burnt out and don't play it.
Yep. Yeah. That happens to me. I think Call of Duty Black Ops 2 was the first time I did that. I didn't play the single player, and then it took forever for me to get around to doing that.
Yeah, it's a shame because they put a lot of time into those things.
Yeah, and they're usually generally pretty fun.
And I realize this is just because like the multiplayer isn't ready. Like they wouldn't have done it this way if they were making them side by side. But I think it will help the initial game because it's built as single player and then just happens to have multiplayer. Kind of like what Last of Us had. I didn't even know that had multiplayer until one of my friends got really into it.
Did you hear that they're gonna have a team for Cyberpunk and a team for Witcher?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, they're like hiring more people to split it up and develop both at the same time.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's gonna make them a lot more money, and they're gonna have a lot more releases, but at the same time, is that polish gonna be there? That's
well,
it
depends. Do you think it's going to be like they have one team just working on the games as service, quote unquote, elements of Cyberpunk, while
like
the
multiplayer
works on a new Witcher game? Yeah.
Or
is it going to be like one team works on this Cyberpunk and then a sequel, while another team works on Witcher and its sequels?
It's
kind
weird
of like how
it's weird to think it, because it's like Cyberpunk's not even here yet. And if they do add the multiplayer and it's like sustainable, kind of like the GTA community is sustainable, I could see them just keep adding stuff to it. Like, that's the Cyberpunk team, so they just keep adding expansions and more content over time. And then, yeah, the other team works on Witcher for 3 years, releases it, and then does a couple of expansions, kind of like they did with 3.
Well, because that's where we're at as far as gaming is concerned. Like, you don't have to. I know, you have to make money, and so a $60 game is a lot more expensive than like, hey, here's a free online thing that has microtransactions in it. But like a lot of times now, the base game is so good that you can just keep evolving on that over time. Like, I think of Spider-Man PS4. They set so many things at the end of that game that were like lead-ins clearly to a sequel, like kind of cliffhanger stuff. And then they had a whole season of DLC with like, I think 3 different new campaigns that felt like they were expanding the world out. They were kind of establishing like more, stuff with those same characters. But it felt like it played it so safe because they couldn't touch on the cliffhangers of the actual game. So it was like kind of piddly little conversations with Peter and Mary Jane and that kind of thing. But like it never really evolved past like, we're worried people aren't going to play this and then they'll be confused if they play the sequel and they're like, oh no, where'd those cliffhangers go? So like they just didn't include any of that stuff. But like what they should do is put out the base game and then have story additions over like a span of 5 years, so that that's your sequel, is like just the stuff over time, like what Destiny does, and honestly what like Ultimate Alliance 3 is doing. Like every new character pack is coming with like story content for those characters, because why make just another sequel with the same engine and then release that as a game when you can have like chunks of $20, story content packs for the same game that already has an install base?
Well, the Witcher 3 had that, that big game came out, and then they had their $30 expansions. They had 2 of them. So that's kind of where I was getting at with that, was that they're going to do a Witcher 4 and then do 2 more expansions. And then, like, if they decide to keep adding expansions, or they have another bigger game to release.
Yeah, well, so I kind of went off on a tangent, but I was saying that's probably what they'll do with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Is like, this will be the game. Like, there's not necessarily going to be a sequel for years down the line, but that team that's working on Cyberpunk will just continue making content for this game.
Yeah.
Rather than working on a sequel.
It's so interesting to see like where these people are taking that idea of like like a living world, basically. Seeing how far they can push that.
But I like that for gaming. Like, you can get invested in the world that you already own and just put as much money into it as you want.
Yeah. It's
not like, another sequel I have to pay $60 for. Like, I'm still playing the last game.
Speaking of games of service, Anthem was in the news today. BioWare specifically, actually. And they came out with kind of, I guess, their version of This Week at BioWare, or this time at BioWare. So Anthem, there's not a whole lot here. All it says is that over the last few weeks, we've been ramping up the Cataclysm events in Anthem. It's a season-long events with new arenas, enemies, challenges, and rewards. We have a big team working on Anthem in both Austin and Edmonton. And while it's been great to see the community response to Cataclysm, I know there's a lot of work to bring out the full potential of the game. And we have plans for fundamental improvements, but they'll take time. And that's pretty much it. So just more like, hey, you guys seem to be enjoying Cataclysm. There's more stuff coming. And meanwhile, I loaded it. I actually been playing some Anthem, just going back, but I haven't touched any of the Cataclysm stuff yet. I just been trying to get to the end game still. I don't know why. I'm.
You gotta fight Thanos.
But they also like talked about some of their Star Wars: The Old Republic stuff. I don't have a whole lot of interest in that.
Like the MMO.
The Old Republic. That game is still going, by the way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
It was fun for a little while.
Yeah, I played. Like, I never finished the base game.
It's an MMO. You can't finish it.
You can get to the end game, or the whatever.
It's a Ben joke.
We have several other big projects in the works. Pretty much that. They're moving to a new office in the ICE district downtown of Edmonton. So we're moving offices. I don't know, there's things going on at BioWare, but not a whole lot is being told. You know what I mean? It's like, we're doing stuff, but we can't really tell you the stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very exciting.
No.
It sounds like they're making news just to be relevant.
Just to keep the name of Anthem.
Hey, we're still around. Don't forget.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, BioWare. I miss you. Alright, let's go. Let's talk about the thing that everyone's actually here for today. Nintendo Direct. This is probably their best Direct they've had in a very long time. Like, I'm not saying that like they've had bad Directs for a while. I'm just saying this is like their best one.
Yeah, it was very solid.
Yeah.
Like, for everyone, so there was something for everyone.
Yeah.
It was alright. I'm kidding.
Well, like, I've complained in the past that it's like, oh, there's 3 Zelda announcements, but, this game got no love, that kind of thing. This felt like it was well divided among... Granted, there's a lot of, like, weeaboo stuff, but...
Yeah, there's like, the weeaboo block, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's start off. I'm just going to go down this Kotaku article in order. So... we have Super Nintendo.
It's not an order of the Direct, it's just an order that Kotaku decided to
write it up, yeah. And they also didn't put enough emphasis on some things that I'll talk about. Super Nintendo Entertainment System. We already talked about that. The games that are coming to it, or that are already on it. Brawl Brothers, Demon's Crest, Joe and... What?
Sorry, I was just, like, giving some context, but go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to list these off. Anyways. Brawl Brothers, Demon's Crest, Joe and Mac 2, Lost in the Topic. Stop me if you want to say something. Kirby's Dream Land 3.
Underrated.
Star Fox.
Overrated.
It's rated. Super EDF, Earth Defense Force, which I didn't know this started on the Super Nintendo.
Kind of lame. I tried it. I didn't know it was a bullet hell shooter, but still, I tried it.
Super Mario Kart.
Still great.
Still Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island.
Best Mario game.
Get the fuck off my podcast.
Yeah.
Controls.
He's gonna leave. What? Anyways, Super Puyo Puyo 2, which is
Weirdly Japanese.
It's cool. I'm not good
Like
at it.
I went over to that 'cause I'm like, what is this game? It's like vertical while all the other box arts are horizontal. And I loaded it up and it was entirely Japanese. I still had no idea what it was until I looked at this list.
Do you know what Puyo Puyo is, though, right?
No.
No. It's kind of like a Tetris where you have to match it, but this is like matching colors.
Oh, that's like that game that came out to Switch that was like
Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Puyo Puyo Tetris. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it to see what it was.
Yeah. It's very hard. Super Tennis, Breath of Fire, F-Zero, Kirby's Dream Course, Pilot Wings, Stunt Race FX, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Soccer, and Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Cool.
Super Metroid is still one of the best games of all time. Can confirm.
I like that Joe and Mac 2 is on there. I was surprised.
I tried that one too. Is it supposed to be good? Like
I don't know. I just like that it was on there.
I've never played those games. It's weird to me that there's a few sequels on here. Like Kirby's Dream Land 3 is because that's the first one on the SNES. I maybe Joe and Mac 1 was an NES game, and so 2...
No, it was an SNES game.
Okay, yeah, then that's weird. There's another one that's a sequel.
Super Puyo Puyo 2.
That's not what I was thinking of.
But it is.
Brawl Brothers, I think is what it was. That's like a sequel to some other game that was also bad. I don't remember what it was called.
Super Dudes.
But that was super generic. Like, again, I kind of...
Demon's Crest is a spin-off of the
Ghouls
Arthur
and
game.
Ghosts.
Goes and Goes.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That's...
I didn't know if that if that demon guy was Firebrand or not.
Yeah, it's
He is,
Firebrand.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
That annoying shithead.
He seemed kind of fun. I don't know. I like
He's
it.
annoying.
That game was kind of cool.
Nintendo showed off
Yeah,
on Killer Games. 20 dropping tomorrow, including obvious ones. There's also going to be SNES controllers that can be purchased for $30 each.
But they're not out yet, unfortunately, which made me mad because it's really hard to play Super Metroid without an actual SNES controller. I wanted to just put input here real quick because the Kotaku article doesn't mention it. They also confirmed that the NES and SNES games aren't going to come monthly anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And that they'll have more news about that later. But like, basically, there's no actual release schedule for these anymore. They're just going to drop whenever Nintendo decides to drop them.
I like that.
I mean, that means it's going to be like bigger chunks just as they feel like it.
It's gonna be 3 games and I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh so fucking hard.
They didn't say also whether it's going to be less often or more often. So my hope is that it's maybe like 1 or 2 games from each system like every week.
No.
But I also doubt that's true.
No, that's not going to happen.
But if it's like this, where it's like 20 games all at once, that's fine. Do it every few months.
I would say 20 total, 10 NES games, 10 SNES games, like every 3 months. That would be ideal.
But that's not much value still.
I mean, that's my expectation.
I mean, it's $20 a year. Like, shit, you're paying for it. It pays for itself anyways.
It does. But I'm just saying, like, there's people that were like, I wasn't going to renew my subscription, but now I have SNES games, so I will. And then they got this news, and they're like, well, I'll wait and see what the release schedule is like, and then I'll decide if I'm going to renew. So, like, this does make or break for some people.
Guys, can you not drop down $20? Don't buy that fucking 6-pack of alcohol, and you fucking get a Nintendo on subscription.
I'd rather buy a 6-pack of alcohol than...
Yeah, I was going to say, don't. But also, I think that for some people, the value is different.
True.
And so, like, if Nintendo's not going to provide the service that fans want, they're not going to pay for it.
Yeah, well,
And
I got my
that will
Super
tell-
Nintendo Classic right there, so I'm good.
Oh, I also wanted to mention that this is their Super Nintendo thing is called Super Nintendo Entertainment System Nintendo Switch Online Super NES.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
And the
pretty great.
controller is that, but with controller in it, too.
Why couldn't they just call it SNES Online? That's all they had to do. Would have been so...
It's not Nintendo, man.
Yeah. But these games are still great. I love the rewind feature, even though if it does kind of break Super Metroid a little bit. Because like if you like try a part over and over again and then die, you can just rewind back to when you were alive and get more tries. But hey, it's good for speedrunning tactics, you know?
Justin, did you hear about the leak for Terry, or was that just like a random Photoshop that you...
No, it was confirmed a while back. There was
okay.
a leak that was like talking about the fourth character being SNK.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so everyone was assuming it was Terry.
Okay. Yeah. So that was confirmed. Terry Bogard is.
I stole that art. Like I didn't. I mean, it was something I saw on Reddit, and I thought it would be funny to.
Yeah, that's what I thought you did. I thought it was like fake or something, but no.
He does kind of look like Ken with a hat, though.
I'm really getting tired of hearing that shit all day. Ignorant.
Is like that he played.
No. I know you're not, but just like seeing it over and over again, just like it's not. It's Terry fucking Bogart.
Burning Knuckle.
Me. By the way, this is his intro trailer is the fucking coolest one yet.
Yeah, it was just like 2 minutes of just like, hey, you don't know what SNK is, do you?
Here,
I don't care.
I love it. The old sprites and the Geese Howard falling out of the building, which so fucking good.
All the people fumbling the card.
I thought it was gonna be Nakamura for sure because Samurai Showdown's coming to Switch. That would have been like, oh shit, it's gonna be nope. Fuck her. If she would have gotten it, if the fucking bird just did its job, it would have been her.
Honestly, my favorite part was at the very beginning when they did the scroll of all the Nintendo consoles and then just shifted to the right from SNES.
Yeah, the Neo Geo. Yeah, that was great. Best trailer yet.
Almost as good as Sakurai telling everyone to go play Banjo on the Xbox.
Yeah. Maybe it'll come to Switch at some point with that partnership now. But yeah, come on! Bring it on, Terry. I love it.
You also got a couple of announcements that came out of left field. This one might have been expected. It's the Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
No, that wasn't expected. Are you kidding
That
me?
was very unexpected.
I was expecting it for a very long time, but I just didn't voice my opinion on it.
Dude, like, Nintendo fucking just forgot about this game when it launched. It's like, here, it's out. And then, like, people got mad because the word vagina bones was thrown around when this game was released. Oh, my God. This game got so much shit for stupid reasons. But I love this game, and I legit started whooping and hollering.
It's the one game from the Wii U that I wanted to play, but I never got.
It's so much good. The battle system's great. I mean, it's super weeby. I won't lie. It's super weeby, but it's so satisfying.
I would maybe be willing to try it now. It came out too late in the Wii U life. I was already kind of done with it, so I didn't care. But I'm curious now.
It just to be prepared for a lot of It's all Japanese. There's no English subtitle. Who knows? They might add it for the game, but I hope they don't. If they don't, if they do, I'll just probably play it in Japanese because that's what I know.
If they don't, I might not play it. I'm kind of over reading.
Yeah, it's all. And plus, like I was like, okay, is this going to be a port? No, they're adding new content and characters who weren't playable are playable. So I have a reason to buy it. January is already looking fucking good for me.
So yeah, new story elements, new song, new characters. January 17th. I'm looking for
no reason to own a Wii U anymore, baby. That was the last one.
There's a few. There's a few things still.
The one that matters.
I still want like a collection bundle of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD both like together. I think that'd be a nice way to celebrate like a Zelda anniversary or something.
Okay, this is probably my most unexpected announcement this week, this year maybe. Deadly Premonition 2, A Blessing in Disguise is coming in 2020. And the original game has already launched on the system.
I thought this was super cool.
Finally something for you on the Switch. You've been waiting for a while.
Yeah, no, it's just okay. So you guys don't know what Deadly Premonition is.
I know what Deadly. Don't put me in that. I'm not. Y'all may be ignorant about Terry Bogard, but I know what Deadly Premonition is.
I know Terry's my favorite.
I'm not ignorant about Terry Gobard. I'm ignorant about Terry Bogard.
Yeah, Deadly Premonition is just one of those like weird, wacky, like out of left field survival horror games that takes a lot of inspiration from like Twin Peaks. It's wild. This game is going to take place in the future and in the past, apparently, like 14 years before the present that's in there. You get to see young York Morgan. before the whole Zach is still with him, but before the whole thing at the end of Deadly Premonition 1. There's also a shot in that trailer where they're in the apartment in D4, Dreams Don't Die. I don't know. That was the other sweary game that came out. There was only 2 episodes and it just fell off the face of the earth. So this might actually wrap in some of the D4 stuff, and that might confirm a swearyverse, which I'm very excited about.
Maybe it'll tie into that cat game too.
That would be amazing. So yeah, that was announced, and Assassin's Creed 4 and Rogue, and an Assassin's Creed Rebel collection.
That's got me hyped. I love those games. Oh, I love Black Flag. I never played Rogue.
Rogue is okay. It's like this.
Black Flag is the best.
I mean, it's an Assassin's Creed game. You can only be mad with it at the worst.
At least it's not 3.
It's pretty bad.
3 is the worst. Yeah.
But even that, like, I guess it launched pretty poorly on Switch, but they did a patch that like fixed everything, and now it's really good. And that's the worst Assassin's Creed game. So like this port will probably be pretty good.
I also played Assassin's Creed
P3.
Odyssey this past week. That's still fun.
Yeah.
It's really good. So yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition coming in 2020.
So like this was the last thing they announced. Like, 'cause, okay, you know how some people had that reaction when they heard the train noise in FF7 and they went, "No way."
Or when Deadly Premonition just came out of nowhere. It was like, no fucking way.
Once I heard those familiar piano strings, which is the title screen for Xenoblade, dude, I'm not guys. I know it's a habit of me crying, but I legit started like, wait, no way. And then they showed the screenshots, like I was crying at the end of that direct, because I didn't think this was gonna ever fucking happen. Not that I wanted it or anything. I never really asked for it. It's kind of just like because Nintendo kind of just. Similar with Tokyo Mirage Systems, dropped it, left it, whatever. As a GameStop exclusive, it was super expensive to get. They didn't care about it. So to see that it's getting an HD Definitive Edition with, by the way, because a lot of people don't know who didn't play Xenoblade, that last shot in the trailer where you see Shulk and Melia, another party member, overlooking area, that was an area that was in the game's code, but was cut from the final game. Like you could what's the word I'm looking for?
Hack it.
You can hack it to go in there, and it's a fully like map, but there's no items. There's nothing in there to do. So like that alone already, okay, there's like another huge area to explore.
I think they confirmed there's new content. Content.
Yeah, but like so, I'm super excited. Like this made me so fucking happy. Like maybe it's because of the success of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That the reason they're doing this, but I'm so fucking happy that this game's coming to Switch because I didn't play it on Wii because it was stupid expensive at the time to get it at GameStop. It was like always $80, even used, because it was like a very limited run. And I bought the 3DS version of it, and I still love the game. I loved it. It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Like no hyperbole. I love that game. I love the characters. I love the story. Everything. So now, but I always wanted to play it on my TV because of how. I'm not joking. This game is not just long and huge, but the areas are like the only thing that can come close to it is Breath of the Wild, and I even think Breath of the Wild feels smaller in comparison to Xenoblade Chronicles 1 in terms of its sense of scale. Maybe in terms of like how you travel is not as good as say Breath of the Wild, but like once you get out of the first area is still pretty huge. You're gonna notice it, but once you're into the Gower Plains, which is the stage in Smash Brothers. And you see the vista, and it's like, oh my god, this is amazing! I can't wait. I can't wait for more people to play this game, and I can play the game all over again with new stuff. I'm gonna start crying. I'm gonna be right back.
Overwatch is coming to the Switch on October 15th with gyro controls. Or gyro controls. Divinity Original Sin 2 is coming. It's a big ass RPG.
The only thing about this is the cross-save support.
Yes.
Confirms that like there could be future games that
between Steam and Switch.
Because it's like actual cross-saves. Like you can start playing on PC and then transfer your save over to Switch and just keep playing on the go. When you get back, transfer it back over to PC and keep playing again. Yeah, like that's brilliant, and I wish more games did that.
Yeah,
it makes so many reasons for like the people who already own on PC to buy it on Switch.
Yeah, sure, you have to pay again. like that. I've seen a lot of people like on Reddit and stuff say that it would be worth it because that's a huge chunky game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And like I've had it in my wish list for a while on PC, and this makes me more tempted. Actually, like that's a seller right there. That feature.
Game Freak's town is now called Little Town Hero. Main character's name is Axe. Game from the developer of Pokemon looks pretty straightforward.
It's going out there to
RPG.
die because it's in the middle of everything.
With some
Yeah.
clever battle
It's a
ideas.
It's a digital only release. It's like $30.
Yeah, but it looks bland. It looks uninteresting. Nothing about it looks fun.
The music is composed by Undertale creator Toby Fox.
That's cool.
The
I like
music in
that
Undertale
idea.
is great, so this is gonna have
Yeah.
good music.
But I can
people
just
buy
listen to
the
the
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
Yeah,
Yeah, October 16th is when it's coming out.
Yeah, it's gonna die.
yeah.
Another left field announcement. Bethesda is re-releasing Doom 64.
Well, that's not that left field. I mean, once they put all the others out,
I mean, it
people were
never. It's
assuming that Doom 64 was going to get a release
Doom
too.
64 has never had a re-release until...
outside of 64, so it's kind of out of left field.
Right, but it's only on Switch, so like that's not that surprising because it's still just a Nintendo release.
And also, id didn't make this game. It was made by Midway.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an original. Like it's not a port. It's like a. From my understanding of it, I never played it.
It's basically the sequel to Doom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've just.
But
heard
not
it's
made by id.
Yeah, not made by id.
When has like a different company made a sequel to a game like that?
I don't know.
I want to play it because I've heard good things about it.
It's actually pretty good. Like, the level design is pretty good.
Yeah.
And Midway's dead, so it's actually kind of surprising. Maybe id bought it, like got the rights back after
They had to, right?
because like Pete Hines came out and talked about it, so it must be theirs.
So yeah, that's
cool.
fun.
I just wish it wasn't coming out like right with Doom Eternal, but I guess it's like, hey, can't play Doom Eternal? Buy Doom 64.
Yeah, this is coming.
Returnal's going to be on Switch.
It is just later. This is coming out November 22nd.
I thought Doom Eternal was day and date with
Yeah,
Switch.
I'm pretty sure it's day and date.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein was.
Okay. I don't know. And then another left field announcement: Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is on Switch. September 24th.
all its janky glory.
You said this game is good, didn't you?
It is
Who,
good. It plays
Oh,
good.
Thomas. He was playing it like a while back.
I played the hell out of this game. The multiplayer was amazing.
I was kind of tempted. I actually saw they're on sale on Steam right now, like all of the Star Wars games.
Yeah, I'll give you like the animations and stuff look goofy as fuck, but
But like the lightsaber is good.
I like there's a lot of things that you can do in this game with the lightsaber combat.
Because good lightsaber is all that matters in a Star Wars game.
You can burn the ground with the lightsaber. How about that?
That's cool.
Yeah, there you
Limbs,
go. Yep. You can chop off limbs.
nice.
My headset's dying, so let's keep going. Super Kirby Clash is free to play. That's available now.
I tried like one mission on it. It's kind of weird. I want to do the multiplayer in it. I think we should do like a quick shot or something of it. Like the three of us.
Sure.
Maybe grab a friend. I don't know. But it's like, it's not Kirby. Like you have powers and that you can choose between like sword Kirby, hammer Kirby, like some kind of like a wand, and then like a potion or something, which I guess is like some kind of scientist. I don't know. I assume they're based on actual like Kirby.
They're from Star Allies.
Yeah, but it's just like a boss rush thing where you take that power.
It's Monster Hunter. It's Monster Hunter Kirby.
Kind of. That's what I've been hearing. And then like you use like the materials you get from that boss to like level up your weapons and your equipment and stuff.
Yeah, it's Monster
I
Hunter.
don't understand why this needed to be a Kirby game. It feels weird. But it's free to play. I mean, literally the most you can spend in this game is $40, and that unlocks like everything. So like it's a respectable, it's a respectable thing if you do like it, to know that you can't spend more than that, and you could spend as little as you want just to kind of help the grind. So it's worth a shot. But.
Luigi's Mansion 3, they showed off Scream Park mode. It pits 2 to 8 players against each other in arena-style ghost battles.
They also just had a new trailer in general that showed off like the different floors of the hotel.
Yeah.
And like Luigi's Mansion 1 and 2 didn't really grab me because of like the mansion idea where it all kind of looks the same. But this makes it feel more like each section of the hotel is like a different world in a Mario game.
Yeah.
And so it's like, there's an Egyptian sand area and like a weird like virtual reality like space kind of area. And like there was enough different types of things in there that I was kind of like, oh, this is more of like an actual like platformer world type game with the Luigi's Mansion elements. That's kind of neat. So it's not like a day one purchase for me, but I'm actually curious about it now.
There's some Pokemon Sword and Shield news. Justin, take it away.
Nothing really interesting.
Okay.
I like the customization.
Still-
I like.
Oh yeah. No, the character customization is great. Like that's actually really surprising how much they're putting into that. And the game looks a little better graphically, but it still looks really rough for a Switch game. Like just a lot of like fuzzy, low poly textures. But like there's been comparisons to old trailers, and you can tell that they're putting a lot more work in. Respect. But it's still just.
And I'm gonna play it either way.
I know, I am too, but I can't take it this seriously. Like every trailer that comes out, I'm like, yeah, I'm still not sold, but I'm gonna buy it. Like I have to sell myself on Pokemon now,
I don't need any convincing. I'm super excited to play this.
I'm just saying, like the trailers aren't selling me. The idea,
okay.
like the fact that it's a new Pokemon game, is selling me.
Yeah. Well, I like the trailers, including the new T Pokemon. I love that thing already.
It's okay. I wasn't super sold on any of the new Pokemon that they showed, but the T was definitely the best. I'm kind of upset that it's like a straight ghost, isn't it?
I don't know the typing. I just like the idea of a ghost inhabiting a teapot.
Yeah, no.
And the tea pun. Yeah. Well, tea. Yeah.
There's not that many ghost Pokemon. I think it's like probably the lowest of all the types.
Fire's worse, but yeah.
No, there's more fire types.
Are you sure about that? I think you're wrong, but whatever.
They've added a lot of ghost types recently, but like the first two gens, there were 4 ghost types.
I guarantee you there's less fire types than ghost. I guarantee it.
Real quick. But anyway, while I'll finish this up and then you can talk while I Google. There's a fan Pokemon game coming out called Pokemon Sky and Sea.
Oh, that's what I would say.
They actually look great. It used to be Ethereal Gates. You might know that. And they kind of rebranded it as Sky and Sea and like started over with the new art style and like are bringing in some of the same Pokemon from that, but like kind of redesigned with the new look and everything. Anyway, they've been showing off some of the Pokemon there like every Friday or something like that. They put out a few of them. And last week, I think it was, they put out one that was a teacup based Pokemon that was Psychic and Fire. And it was really cool design. It was like a tea elephant kind of looking thing. And then they showed this teapot, and I'm like, I'm having deja vu. Like, that one was also Ghost, wasn't it? And like I looked it up, and it wasn't Ghost, but I liked it more. And that's kind of the point I'm getting at. It's like they put out this kind of pretty cool teapot Pokemon, but it's just a Ghost. Like that's not that interesting because there's some really cool typings out there that they're not touching on. And then like the others, like there's another bird that's water and flying.
It's a stork.
We have 2 of those already.
Multiple different kind of animals in different regions.
And there's another, I think, it's a stork, I think, that's water and flying from like last gen or something like that. And so like they're redoing the same things, but they're not putting old Pokemon in the game.
So they're doing what they've been doing for all their games.
Yeah, but in the other games, like I'm not on the bring back the National Dex team or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, if they're going to put in new Pokemon, there should be a reason for them, rather than just replacing old ones that they're not bringing back. Like, bring back anything that already exists, and then focus new Pokemon on, like, type advantages and things like that haven't been done before.
Yeah, but that requires effort.
It does. But that's why this gen just hasn't really appealed to me that much, outside of Yamper. Yamper's great. But you can share now. I'm gonna look up which ones.
I love this. I'm so looking forward to Sword and Shield. The customization looks awesome. The curry stuff, I'm not sure how much time I'm gonna put into that. I think it's neat, but like we'll see. It's I like the idea, and I love the animations for it. It's just so freaking adorable. I do love the idea about the whole like basically the island thing from Sun and Moon, but like this whole park thing for the Pokemon to roam around in. I like that being in this game. I like the new Pokemon. I mean, yeah, sure, it's the Stork and the Teapot, but whatever. I'm a boring motherfucker, so I like boring things. I can't wait for this game. I'm so looking forward to play this game.
We also got some news. Okay,
Sorry, I just want to update real quick. Fire is actually at 68 total.
Okay.
How many goes?
Which is like towards the top of how many there are.
Huh.
And Ghost is 46. It is second from the bottom above Ice.
Never feels like that in the game I play. I struggle to find fucking fire types.
Because there's just not like... They tend to not be very well represented in the games.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
And there's quite a few of them that are legendaries also.
Oh, okay. They don't count.
Most of the ghosts are like in the game and...
So, Ghost Range, yes. Okay.
But it is weird to me that Fairy, the newest type, is above Ghost, which has been around since the beginning.
Because fairies are badass.
There's just... They retconned so many into being Fairy.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Animal Crossing New Horizons. Crafting mode. Collect raw materials around the island. Craft tools. Use the tools to get more craftables.
A lot of stuff that's in the mobile game. Makes sense.
Trials of Mana remake.
Still looks amazing.
April
This was
24th.
the game that got me in the
Okay. I thought it only looked okay to me. Like
Did
it's
you
just,
play Zenitsu 3 very much?
I mean, no, I didn't. But just from visual representation alone, I thought the art style doesn't gel with me. The voice acting was terrible in that one scene we got. Like,
Oh, I don't care about the voice acting. And the art style, I agree, it's not the best. But like, it's just the fact that they're actually like remaking the game.
No, sure, that in itself is cool, but like,
No, I just mean like Secret of Mana 3D. Like that was a terrible remake.
yeah,
They cloned that
agreed.
in hard. This, like, they built a new engine. They're making this game from the ground up, and it makes me feel like there's actually a future for the Mana series. Because why would they put so much work into this new engine?
No, I get that.
One game.
It just looked bland to me. It just looked generic. Like the characters just look generic to me. That's all. I'm sure the game's gonna be amazing. I'll play the
I
Super
definitely
Nintendo.
like the art style of the original game more. It's got such a cool sprite style that looks really clean, and
I look forward to playing that version since I have it.
yeah. No, definitely play that first.
Okay. Return of Obra Dinn. This is a pretty cool adventure game. If the art style grabs you, go check it out. It's
Hurt my eyes. It hurts my eyes.
It's like HD Game Boy.
Ugh.
It's
That
got that,
word should never be a thing.
it's that weird like dot art.
Yeah.
From like
Dot
90s
trick.
computers. Yeah. Let's see. Rogue Company is a new team-based shooter from High Res Studios. People that do
That look cool.
Trials.
Yeah. Is it just on Switch though? Because it's gonna fail.
I don't know. It just says it's coming to Switch. It's probably going to go to PC as well because they're High Res Studios.
Probably.
Coming in 2020, Tetris 99 getting a new mode. I don't play this game. I've never played this game actually.
I want to play. Every time I want to play
It's
more
fun.
of it, I just forget.
Yeah.
Because it's
I'm
just
not good at Tetris, so like it's fun, but it's not my thing.
Yeah,
But the 2-player versus is really cool, actually.
yeah.
It just sucks. Like you shouldn't have to pay for a multiplayer mode. That feels weird to me.
Yeah, it's weird. But just buy the physical edition for $30.
Yeah,
This
that's
is,
true.
but it's a free game.
Which- Yeah, it's a free game, but I kind of want the box. So
What box?
I like
Well, no,
looking.
it's not like the $30 version comes with a year of Switch Online and then all of the DLC for the game.
Yeah, and I like
So
looking at
$30
the
is a
box.
good deal for that.
It's a colorful box, damn it. I like
Okay.
looking at the box.
And then we have another Daemon X Machina demo launching already.
Which I talked about earlier.
Yes.
Go download the demo. Seriously, if you're, it's the game's gonna die. Like I hate to say that about Daemon X Machina, but the game is being sent out to die. But please go play the demo, because apparently the developer for the Marvelous, which they share my name, apparently they claim a lot of stuff on YouTube. So you may not see a lot of stuff on YouTube for this. So yeah, this game's gonna die, and I hate that because it looks so badass and cool.
And then to a follow-up to the Direct, Nintendo released a video teasing their new peripheral.
This is so weird.
What the fuck's the name of this thing?
This is the one
name
idea
yet.
Miyamoto got a year.
There's
This
more
is
information coming out on the 12th. There's no
Okay.
name or anything yet.
But essentially, it's like a rubber wheel that you stick a Joy-Con into, and then you
You
also
stick
get,
it between your legs and you work.
and then
it
you
out.
also get like a thigh pad for the other Joy-Con.
But it's like a tension wheel. It's not just like, a steering wheel or anything. It's actually like it's like rubber bandy.
Yeah.
Like you can pull on it and like, spring it in. And like this is definitely like a Switch Fit type thing
It is totally.
without the balance board. But
Yep.
I don't know. It's kind of neat because like this is the kind of thing that will get. Oh, I see the little like thigh strap thing.
Yeah, the thigh
I
pad.
didn't notice that before.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of thing that can actually be used for other stuff outside of just one game. Whereas the balance board pretty much was just for Wii Fit or Wii U Fit, whatever. Like we still have ours in the basement, just
Sitting
collecting
doing
dust.
but this, like, it could be used as a steering wheel or, whatever else. It seems like a more diverse peripheral. And I think that's the idea they're coming up with, is like a multi-tool.
Yeah, they showed some people using it like a steering wheel, so we'll probably get Mario Kart support. It also showed off like I don't know why this is even relevant, but like everyone around the world using it. That didn't make any sense to me.
Inclusion. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I guess okay. I don't know. We'll
Got, like, strength training elements. That's pretty cool. I'd use it.
yeah, we'll know more about it on September 12th. So, it's just weird. Nintendo being Nintendo.
Talk about it next week.
So we also have a question again this week from Mike.
Mike,
he's
the
asked-
TV.
He's
Sorry. I'm gonna do that every time if he asks a question.
He's asked us, what's a 2020 title that you're looking forward to?
I'll go first since I already know
I
it.
think we all like said ours during the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles HD, definitive, not HD, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. That's it.
I can't even think of everything that's coming in 2020 anymore, honestly.
We don't really. Do we know a lot of stuff? I think we don't.
Cyberpunk is coming next year, right? Deadly Premonition 2. Like those are two.
Trials of Mana is 2020, isn't it?
Yeah, that would probably be yours as
Yeah.
of right now.
At least as far as like the announcements we have so
Yeah.
far. Because like I'm sure the Breath of the Wild sequel is coming next year and things like that.
That's
but
bold if you do.
we have a guaranteed release date for this one.
Okay.
I want to see what happens to that new Halo game.
Oh, yeah, the
yeah.
Battle Royale game. Yeah,
The Battle Royale game.
that's what it's gonna be. Watch.
Halo 5 or 6 Infinite
Infinite.
intrigues me, but we don't know enough yet, so I just
Exactly.
don't care.
Remember what happened the last time a
I
game put
wanna
Infinite
care.
in their title? Didn't end them well for them.
Oh.
What?
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh,
Yeah,
that okay.
don't put Infinite in your title. It doesn't work out for you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because that was the only thing wrong with that game.
Yeah, the only thing wrong with that game.
Yes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Thomas go through the Weeb factory that is Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Oh yeah,
on
it's coming out next January. Yep.
I get Zero Collection and that in January. Fuck yeah, 2020 is already starting off good, even though my knee is giving out on me.
All right.
You don't need a knee to play games.
True.
So yeah, let's wrap this up. Justin, where can people find you?
You can find me if you look for Zero Score on Twitter or YouTube or Twitch. I'm trying to do some like restream stuff with Mixer, but they've been a butt about getting me my stream key, so we'll see if that happens. But I will be playing some more Super Metroid on the SNES Online service over the next few weeks until Link's Awakening HD comes out. I figure I streamed the original game. I should stream the HD version too.
Ben.
You can find me at twitter.com/marvelousiggy, where you will be blessed with the anime titty, with the occasional Godzilla tweet, and a whole lot of nonsense.
And you
Sure.
can find me on Twitter, CSG Thomas. I tweet out when we're going live. You guys can always tweet us a question to ask on the show, just like Mike. My email is thomas@chargeshot.com. You can find us on all kind of podcasting networks. And until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Mike!
The TV. I don't still don't understand